Hello, and welcome to the Steve and Mark Discuss podcast, where Steve will raise a subject, we listen, and then I will respond. So, over to Steve.
Hi, people. Looks like Boeing have been at it again. This coming out of Frankfurt. A Boeing 777 took off from Frankfurt last Friday and suffered a maintenance issue in flight. Now, as it happens on board, one of the passengers is a great supporter of American Airlines, and this guy he won't hear anything bad, excuse me, said about American Airlines. He wears an American Airlines badge, as all enthusiasts do.
Okay.
You know, he's not the pilot, by the way, although he does wear a pilot's cap sometimes.
Oh, okay.
If you've seen those train spotters at the end of the end of the platform, you know what I'm on about. This guy is he's a frequent flyer, only goes by American, won't hear anything bad said about, only praises.
Yeah.
So it's good to bear that in mind.
Yeah.
So what was the maintenance issue in that case on this flight? It was the sewage, the contents of the lavatory came and entered into the cabin where the passengers were sitting. And you could say the plane was to carry on to go to, I think it was Miami.
Yeah.
But of course, it comes to the punchline. When the shit hit the fan, the pilot he did two. He flew around twice and went back to Frankfurt. 2 hours later, the other passengers, perhaps some more dirty than others, landed back where they started off from.
Oh dear.
Now, it strikes me. I learn on these things, because apparently the container under the lavatory, it was blowing instead of sucking. When you flush the lavatory on an air, and it sucks it all down. When people have been using the lavatory, it's been blowing, and so I always thought that when you flushed on an airplane, it jettisoned it outside the airplane into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then it disintegrated on the way down. But apparently not. They've all got a septic tank. And this septic tank on the airplane, it pushed the contents and overflowed the lavatory, which spilled into the main cabin. So that's another tale of woe for American Airlines and Boeing to add to their cap. But it doesn't stop there, you see, because Antony Blinken, once again, he had to travel by car from Paris to Brussels. Because his 737 was grounded due to mechanical failure. Now, this happened once before this year, only it was an oxygen leak. It was an oxygen leak. He went to an ONU meeting.
Yeah.
But this time, I know he went to the Economy Forum meeting.
Yeah.
This time he went to the ONU, and he had to go by car. So, just to conclude, the shares of Boeing are down 25% for all those people who are counting the pennies. And the production of its planes, Boeing now, has been drastically reduced from 38 planes per month down to less than 10. Because the FAA did some checkups and found that Boeing was a little less to be desired when it comes to safety checks, when it comes to assembling. You know, assembly. I think some of these employees need to have a quick course with Meccano. Remember Meccano when you were kids?
I know Meccano. I used to have a Meccano kit. Yeah.
Right. So they should practice on that for a while before going on to the thing. So there you have it. It's just an ongoing situation with Boeing. It doesn't look anything good, especially when you're dealing with heads of state and diplomats, and you know, if this mechanical failure happens mid-flight, then we'd be talking about Anthony Blinken no more. You know, so happy flying.
Yes.
Happy aviation.
Yeah. Yes, I got it. Yes. Right. Okay.
And flying is still the safest way to travel.
Yeah. No shit.
Just ask Anthony Blinken.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I just reminded of a comedy show called The Big Bang Theory, where one of the characters built a lavatory for the International Space Station, and it did exactly the same. It didn't suck; it blew up. It blew the other way. So, yeah, the joke being that the ISS something ended up with unmentionables flying around. It's a they do seem to be going through what I would consider, engineering-wise, quite fundamental issues. I mean, we have triple redundancy systems on most things on aircraft. I don't think you can triple redundancy a door, as was before, and I don't know if you could triple redundancy a toilet. It is very, very embarrassing. I mean, it's serious as well. I mean,
for the shares to go down 25%.
Well,
if it wasn't for the arms that Boeing are selling.
But they also, I mean, I know there's a world push to actually stop us, as many of us start traveling by aircraft as well, but actually taking the fleet out the air as well doesn't really help the situation. I was talking about airfares to someone this morning. So if you're reducing your fleet, you in effect reducing capacity, so putting fares up as well. I mean, things go wrong with aircraft. Okay, a toilet is probably quite a well-used piece of equipment on the aircraft. I mean, certain times during the flight, we know that you can't, you're queuing behind about 10 other people, which is not always the best thing. If I spend more than 10 minutes in there, you get a bit concerned if you're next.
At least to warm up the seat.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's an embarrassment. I really don't know. I mean, what is going wrong? As you sort of say, is there something fundamentally wrong with their training procedures, the recruitment thing for engineers? Maybe they can't get engineers anymore. Maybe the universities aren't producing the types of engineers that they need. Social engineers seem to be coming out the universities now, not hard mechanical and electrical engineers. Even electrical and mechanical engineers are now coming up as social engineers. Also, again, I think it's very, very embarrassing. It's not a good look. America did lead the way in aircraft manufacture. Probably not anymore. If we're looking at this, maintenance is everything with anything in it. People think maintenance is a waste of time. It's not. It actually saves you a lot of money in the long term. I used to be on the maintenance side of things, and we used to catch all sorts of things before they became major faults. I mean, you can't prove it. You can't prove it. You spot something, you log it down. Unless something seriously goes wrong, people don't really notice, so they reduce the budget on maintenance. Whereas you increase the budget on maintenance, you'd be spending a lot less on faulting.
Well, we talk about you're talking about maintenance there when you're talking about the LAV course, but like I said, they've reduced the number of planes coming off the production line because of failures in security aspects. So if you're gonna have your plane coming off the production line lacking, when it comes to maintenance, that's going to be an obvious. Obviously, the maintenance costs are going to go up anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
The fact that they're coming off the production line faulty, that's a no-no.
Yeah, it's downright appalling, to be quite honest. I mean, yeah, I've had experience of PCs of recently, of things and all that, which are meant to be good. I mean, yeah, it's a. I know that nothing lasts forever, but there does seem to be something that is very, very wrong. I mean, I don't think it's an increase in reporting because, like you say, Boeing are now. I don't know. I mean, the Boeing's resigned. I mean, okay, the chairman is not directly responsible for things, what happens, but he's paid a lot of money to take responsibility and make sure it doesn't happen.
He's out at the end of the. He's out at the end of the year.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, you can't just suddenly, unless you've done something really serious, you can't just kick somebody out. They have to have a wind down and make sure everything's good. I mean, he'll get a nice handshake. He's still doing his job. Yeah, I mean, you have to put people on gardening leave for 3 months or 6 months, whatever it is, in at that level as well. But it is a. I mean, yeah, it is concerning. We all fly. I mean, this is a little concern, but if you can't get something like a toilet right, what else could be wrong? Yeah, it could be worse.
If you're going down, if you're going down on an aeroplane, I imagine the toilet is probably the last thing you're going to use.
Sorry, I had to rethink of that, Mile High Club and everything else on that one. Yeah, it'd be even worse if something, the window blew out in the aircraft, I imagine. But yeah, that's in the toilet as well. But yeah, maybe that might be an advantage in this case. Yeah. Appalling, embarrassing. If they can't even get a leading politician's aircraft maintained and working properly, what does that tell you? Yeah. There was a time. Yeah. I know my time from working in the transport industry. If we knew as an official coming round, we made sure everything was top notch and absolutely spotless. Yeah, and working. So there's nothing worse.
Times change, man. Times change.